see what happened. I'm just seeing if anybody else turns up, so it's going to be a little bit dead air. So, but I hope everybody's okay out there. So I hope you're all doing well. Okay, see if anybody turns up here. No. What do you mean no? Is there one person there? One person. Okay. Oh dear. First minute. Yeah, so how's everybody doing today? Hope you all. I really hope you're all well there. So, how's the day been? I'm trying to make small talk. It's like small talking to yourself. So yeah, this is going to be. I hope there's going to be a bit more people turn up. I really do because it's going to be sort of interesting. We'll find out what people think, and it'd be interesting to get a perspective about this from other people and see what they think. It's a topic that's very on point now today. And was Truman able to see into the future when he said this? Or has it always been this way? It's what you ask yourself. So I'm going to say, was Truman right? When you know what, as it says here, was Truman right in what he said? And this is Truman addressing his colleagues in the American Senate in December 1937. Basically, he said, "We worship money instead of honor. A billionaire, in our estimation, is greater than the eyes of the people than the public servants who work for the public interest." Was he right in saying that? I'd like to get your thoughts about this and see what you guys think about this here. We in America, you've got the presidential elections that'll be coming up. You've got two people who are rich running for president. You got Biden and you got Trump. Where's our working class here? Where's our working class people? Where's the working class people who have worked themselves up, got themselves into the position of power, or got themselves into a situation where they can run for a position of power? We see all this. I don't know how to phrase it. So hysteria. We see all this hysteria about Trump. We do. We see this massive hysteria about Trump, and yet there's nothing for the. Yet when a person does something, when a person of working class origin does something for the country, even in Britain, there's none of this hysteria going. Hey, well, it's good to see you here, Kane Corsa. I'm really pleased to see you here. So thank you for turning up. I'm just trying to get a little bit of discussion going. Well, how do you feel? Was, like I said, was Truman right when say we praise billionaires and instead of people who generally actually work to help the country? Like I said before, we've got people like Trump and Biden who are really, really rich people. They're honestly rich. And we seem to praise them more than the average Joe who may work so hard behind the scenes that they don't get praise. You know? It's It's like what Truman's also said. He said the Carnegie Halls. Yeah. I mean, Truman did say the Carnegie Halls are dripping of the blood of the steel mill miners, and that's been there. But we praise people like Carnegie, who's made billions out of people like that. There's halls named after them, and yet, what about the working classes? Has this always been the way? I think we should look at the people with integrity do good things, not rich people. I really do. I really do. It is a sorry if you hear buzzing. It's my computer. It's going out. I need to try to save some money and just things that get a bit hard sometimes. But anyway, that's not the thing I'm talking about. If any person who comes up from the working class up to where they can get themselves into a position of power, we seem to knock them. Exactly. People used to look up to their parents and now they look up to the people that are terrible. We looked up to people like Elon Musk and people like that who are billionaires. Like you've got Elon Musk, you've got the Andrew Tates, and you've got other people and other people and other people. What about looking up to somebody who actually does something good? What about actually looking up to the doctors or to the nurses who work stupid hours and they don't get a lot of money for doing it? And we don't praise them enough for what they do. We don't praise the road workers that go out and do it, they fix the roads and all that, and they get paid the money, and we just don't think about them. We praise more sports stars who win millions and millions, and worst of it all, they get stuff free. You see adverts of like soccer. You call them soccer players. I call them football players. So football players getting free stuff like free phones that are worth like 500, 600, 700 pounds just to endorse their products. But they're already rich. They don't need that free stuff. They don't need it. The cost of living is going up each time. Each time it is really going up. I've said it a couple of times in a live before, but it is going up and it is only going to get worse. They're going to keep on looking at things and keep on looking at ways of putting the prices up. And that is absolutely shocking. Where is our people that can fight for us? Do people think that honestly Trump and Biden, I'm not going to use them because it's a big elections, it's a big ones in the US, so I'm going to use them. We haven't had a general election here yet, but even runs in our country too. Do people think that Joe Biden or Donald Trump, the working classes over here, when they're talking about our Prime Minister and Keir Starmer, do they think they're going to defend or actually know about how to defend us or know what we're going through? These people, our Prime Minister is richer than the King right now. He's richer than the King. He's richer than King Charles III. He really is. Do you think he's going to stand up for the working classes? Do you think Sir Keir Starmer now, is going to stand up and help the working classes here? Any of them? It needs to take a stand. It needs to be a political revolution, not a revolution as like the American Revolutionary War. But it needs to be a political revolution. It needs to be a political uprising. We need men and women of different classes to represent every single part of who we are. And we're not getting that. We are really not getting that. We are getting screwed over royally by all the people that we put into power. And you think we're going to help them. You think, well, we get them in, everything's going to be better. No, it is not. It is not going to get better. Prices are going to go up. They should have thought about this years and years ago. They all knew about this is going to happen years and years ago, and nobody done a thing. It was like, stick your head in the sand like ostriches and just see what happens. We need to look and we need to find ways of sorting this out. We cannot let the rich dictate our lives anymore. We shouldn't. There should be a general representation of who we are. So I want to know what you think. Am I right in saying that? Will these people that we put into power represent us in any single way? Okay, so I'm going to put the StreamYard on. People are welcome to come up. Remember, if I refuse you, is nothing personal. It's just I've got to be careful in who I, because I know things. Well, you people know what I mean anyway. So if you like to come up, there's a thing. Give your point, and there. Doobie doop doo. Once again, I talk to myself sometimes. You know, the first sign of madness is when you answer yourself back. Right, I'm going to take a drink. Only one person. And the worst thing is, well, okay, I'll talk then. Sorry, I'll talk to myself. And the worst thing is, we are now in a new Cold War. Don't care what anybody says, we're heading towards it, and no, we're not. We are in a new Cold War. My generation have lived through this. We have lived through leaflets of how to build your own nuclear bomb shelter, what to do in your nuclear war. We've lived with the propaganda movies. We lived with the propaganda songs. We have seen protests about nuclear weapons. We've seen protests about war. We've had CND protests. So my generation and people before me have seen it all now. But we're now in a new phase of a Cold War. And they're talking in Britain and the rest of Europe, they're talking about conscription. Well, more so Europe. British Army said we're not conscripting people. But if we conscript people, if there was such a war, why are we fighting it? Honestly, why are we fighting it? Oh, don't get me wrong. If somebody sent me a note saying you're being conscripted out, I'll go off and help do my duty. I would. But also, why are we fighting it? I get you. I think reason why there's a sizable contingent of working class people here, and this weird defence of Jacob Rees-Mogg and Nigel Farage. Sometimes they speak. Sometimes it's a small minority, and they think they're speaking their language. If you get my meaning. Sometimes they'll think that Nigel Farage is trying to help them, or Jacob Rees-Mogg is trying to help them. And they talk about immigration. don't get me wrong, immigration is a touchy subject. It really is a touchy subject. I agree that there should be controlled immigration. These people who travel on boats are going through France and Germany, are going through several free countries that haven't got war, but also believe that Britain should do its bit and take in people. But the way sometimes these they're betrayed by the left and the right are more centralist. It's by the left, they're saying you should take everybody in. Well, no, because that could mean bad things happen. And people saying on the right go, no, we should take anybody in at all. Well, that's bollocks too, because we should be helping people that are in need of help. We should be. We were masters of the world once. Britain was master of the world once, and we still should live out our responsibilities of doing that. The countries in the Middle East and some countries in Africa are made because of Britain. Should we be taking in everybody? No, we should just control it. We should see what we need, because right now there's about 250,000 people sleeping rough in Britain. We should be helping them too. We should be helping them more than people escaping from France. I don't know how you feel, Street in Scotland, but I think once you take care of put your own house in order, then you can help to sort out everybody else. It is mind-boggling that people would travel across the channel, and people forget about the English Channel. The English Channel is one of the most dangerous channels in the world. It is one of the most busiest shipping channels. I think what happens is when you appease the left and you say, right, do the people smugglers, go after the people smugglers. Go after them. When you get their boats, smash them up. When you know who they are, find them, jail them, prison them. Because they're the ones that are making the people, they're the ones that turn the people into slaves. They're the ones that do it's almost like indentured servitude. All the money goes to these people smugglers, and they make millions and millions. I don't agree with Albanians because they're not fleeing anything. They're not fleeing any war. What war they're fleeing? There's no war or persecution in Albania. It's quite a free country. We should be helping people more from different countries. I don't believe in all this hysteria about different religions neither. If you look at the background of these different religions, there's Muslims have been in this country since early Victorian times. The first mosque was built in the early Victorian times. I believe in the people. I don't believe in the people who are going to hurt the country. I don't like Islamic extremists. Well, nobody does. They should. Anybody who believes in that type of thing should can go and leave the country, as far as I'm concerned, and they could be happy with that, knowing that they can move into a country that's going to be catered more to them. People should be able to live in peace and harmony, and celebrate in who they want. Yeah, well, housing is under pressure. Street in Scotland. I live, as you can tell by the accent, I live in the south of England. My dad was in the army. My dad was from the west coast of Scotland. My mother was from the west coast of Scotland. And I was born down to the south because my dad, the place where my dad was barracked was in the thing. How late am I? Well, you're not that late. Only 20 minutes, so I'll let you off, Liz. Yeah, but so houses. I mean, well, houses in the south of England are so popular. There's like an 8 or 9 year waiting list to get a social house. Also, rents have increased. Rates have increased. NHS is buckle into. I've noticed this. Way they run the NHS now is buckling. So, yeah, I do believe. Yep, charity bingers at home is a bit cliche, but it's often used. Yeah, so do I. Oh, Liz, I can't. Liz, to be honest, I don't talk about casinos. I've had a bit of a gambling habit, which I am now clean for 4 or 5 years now. So gambling to me is like, oh no, it's like offering me 24 pack of beer. And especially and in Scotland too. People think Scotland is this all right. It's a beautiful country. I love Scotland. I love going back. It is. I classify that as my home. I love going up there, and I love walking to the streets of Edinburgh and to Glasgow, and I love going to the pubs in Glasgow. I love. I went to Crieff once too for a fortnight. I love being in Crieff. It's a beautiful country, but spaces for social housing are small and far between, and they seem people get. Well, I don't want to get really that political, but they forget how actually small Scotland is. Like the SNP will take in this, will do this, but you're pushing your own people out too. There's got to be a happy medium. There has to be. There has to be. You know. Anyway, so how you doing, Liz? I hope you're well. I hope you're okay. We're talking about what Harry Truman says. I'd like to see Inverness. Okay, yeah, that's the Highland City along with Edinburgh. No, Aberdeen, Edinburgh, Edinburgh. There. Yeah. It is brutal. It really is. It is absolutely brutal. I'll speak to my family every single week, and I will do tomorrow too. I'll have to phone up my uncle. He supports the wrong team in Scotland. It's a shame for him. It is a shame. I keep on telling him and try to make him persuade to join the other team, but he won't. I won't say which ones, but people can guess. Yeah, it's the rents, well, especially when you live in the city, the inner city, the city centres is when the rents go sky high. The Gorbals being one of them. The Gorbals is the upper end of is the now the expensive end of Glasgow. When my dad was there, it was the slums. Um, my mum was born in Springburn, and where they were born in a place called Meadowbank Street. No, Liz. I'll tell you in a minute. So where my mum was born was Meadowbank Street in Springburn, and they lived in tenement houses, and there was like 30 to 40 people in the tenement houses. People would find that trendy now for some strange reason. They really would. No, Liz, I'm not talking about Harry Truman. What about dropping bombs? No, it is in the description of this live. Was Harry Truman right? And I'll say it again. Okay, so this is Harry Truman addressing his colleagues in the Senate in December 1937. We worship money instead of honor. A billionaire, in our estimation, is much greater in the eyes of the people than the public servants who work for the public interest. Is this indicative of every single election that happens in the world? We can relate to it over here, no, because we have got as like I said, our prime minister over here is richer than King Charles III. So, like, you can put your opinion down on it. But yeah, it's very true. Street in Scotland, tenement houses would be considered trendy. Oh, you live in a tenement house. Oh, look at that. Okay, well that was a description. Um, Look at also Street in Scotland. Look at the Docklands in London. They were like that in Glasgow. They were like that in Glasgow. Is where the poorer people lived in the Docklands. Now look at it now. Millionaires and billionaires, all fancy cars, all clambering for the money. There is that who we look up to now. So I'll put the StreamYard again. It is, mate. It is. It is such a thing there. So I'll put the StreamYard thing up there. People want to come and join me, you can come and join me in chat. I'll be sitting here waiting. It'll be like like being on radio, except I won't be playing any music. To get copyrighted, do you know it's very hard to do videos for stuff like this now? Because I've got when you do videos, you either have to go out to the field where you're doing the videos, or you've got to actually look for public domain because you can't use a thing. Hey Brian, how's it going, mate? I hope you're well. I hope you're well. So yeah, so videos now. I can't when I talk about historical stuff. I can't. I've got to use public domain because if there's anything else that is, they've held these images are held by different companies. What's up with that? What is up with that? Images, historical images, and they're held by, and you got to pay like, say, just off the guess, £100 to use the image. It's like, what the hell? You know? So, Brian, the question is, I would say the question is, was Truman right in what he said that we worship billionaires instead of people who actually, millionaires who, instead of people who actually work and help the country? And this is indicative of Britain too. You know, we've got a race. We got you. You guys have got a race between two people. Who, let's face it, they've never probably done a hard day's work in their life. You know, you got two people. I mean, Biden isn't the best, and neither is Trump. Who do you choose? Honestly, who do you choose? Which one do you want to choose? All Trump cares about is the power and the money that comes with it. Yeah, but neither. But you got have to choose. Somebody's got to be in power there, Liz. Who would you like to see in charge? Exactly, Brian. Exactly. I don't think Brian wants to be a president. Maybe he does actually. Held to the chief. Da, da, da. What's held to? I forget it. I don't know that. I can't remember the tune. But you're right. Very right. The Kardashians, a prime example. The Kardashians have never done a hard day's work in their life. But yet they've made billions. They made billions. They make images of themselves, then they airbrush every single imperfection out and make themselves look a lot more better than they do in real life. And people buy into this. I remember South Park when South Park done a really good episode about the Kardashians, and it wasn't involving any gay fish. Yeah, that is very true. Very true there. So, with saying that, who do people think that was the best ever president? Which people? Okay, so who do you think done more done? I was going to say done doesn't sound properly, but who done more work and made America better? Just on who you guys think made America better? Out of all the policies that have happened, of all the wars, who do you think? Who do you rank as the best ever president? Lincoln. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, when you first had the war, you wanted to keep the state together. You wanted to keep all the things together. And when the Confederacy when the Confederacy looked like it was breaking away, he introduced them. Was it? Oh, I know what it is. I can't say it. The Emancipation Proclamation. Is that it? The chance to free the slaves from the South. Because people got to remember, the Union was losing a war against the Confederacy. You know, that was happening. Wasn't that then? More people joined the army and more people joined up. Yep. Try saying that when you've had a drink or two. Ooh. I can barely speak English, let alone say that. The Emancipation Proclamation. That turned the war. That turned the war in favour of Lincoln. Yeah, but I was talking about the Civil War then, Liz. I was talking about the Civil War. The US Civil War. I quite like reading about the US Civil War. I think it's a fascinating piece of history. I honestly think this is my opinion, maybe nobody else's, but my opinion, I think that's what helped to make America the country as it is now. But you also got to remember that if you watch my video on Bamber Bridge, you got to remember that people of color, African American men and women, were still not treated equally. No. No, that is very true. Didn't it was, but that was keeping the Union together, Liz. It's like England and Scotland, or Britain and Scotland, during the time of the Jacobite rebellion in the late 1700s. Yeah, so took the civil rights. He did Brian that did, and also took the race rights in World War II to keep on pushing it, and also into the 50s and up to the 60s, and to get rid of Jim Crow laws. Even then, equality was still not there properly, was it? Let's face facts. That's Magda. Yeah, the Battle of Culloden, that was more to do, the Jacobite rebellion is more to do with Catholicism and Protestants, basically. It was all to do about Britain wanting a Protestant king, and because the Stuart line was a Catholic line, turned into Catholic line, they didn't want a Catholic king to sit on the throne, because you need to be a Protestant, because the Church of England is under the leadership of, even as under the leadership of the Archbishop of Canterbury, The king or the queen, whoever sits on the throne, is the defender of the faith. Make America great again. That's a good question. That is. Speaking as an outsider, when do you guys think America was great? That's what I'd like to find out. When do you think America was great? Because speaking as somebody from Britain, we've got long memories. Even when we haven't been born, we've still got long memories. America helped to supply the Germany in World War II. They helped to supply in the beginning. America was neutral, so I was supplying both Britain and Germany. Ford had vehicles. Oil production was going there. Coca-Cola had a plant in Germany at the time. While other things were happening, Coca-Cola took the license away from Germany, and that's how you get Fanta. Oil and other products were taken away from Germany because of the war. Then Germany was getting other products from Sweden and the Soviet Union. Well, well, I would say 1944 was the greatest generation of any country. Any country had helped to fight the scourge of what was happening. Was the greatest generation. Anything from 1941, from 1940 to 1945, was the greatest generation of every free country that was helping to fight against. I can't really say because you got to be careful what you say on YouTube, but against that country that tried to take over the world. That's when I consider America was that great, and Britain was that great too. If Britain did fall during that time, the world would have been a different place. In 1940, that's when I think. Well, that's when I don't think I know. I'm going to give my opinion, and I know that part time, if Britain fell in 1940, the world we live in would be different right now. It would be. But again, don't need to use my commas. Brian transcends grammar. He doesn't need to. He's going to become president one day. He doesn't need to use grammar. When you're president, go for it, mate. Go for it. Just remember me. I just want a little island in the Pacific. A couple of cold things. America was great when the first natives were here. When the whites screwed up, then had bright idea bringing the blacks over. Oh, Dickens idea. That's a bit controversial, mate. That is a bit controversial. But good to see you. Thank you for your opinion. People forget that. People do forget that. Right, Dickens side of that. That the Native American genocide was the worst thing to happen in the world. From the North Americas to the South Americas. Yeah, Brian. So, when you run for president, can I make a video about you? But joking aside, there, we do have to look at the point I was making earlier before. Do we look at rich? Why do we look at rich men as heroes? Because that is a good point. The white screwed up. We came over. We made men rich from the blood of other people, and this isn't a leftist view or a right view. This is the truth. See, you've already got a chief or stiff there, Brian. So yeah, I think you've got to do it, mate. It is the truth though. We have countries have made people rich on the misery of others, and we tend to look up at these people and think, aren't they such brilliant people? What is your opinions? Come up and chat if you want to. I'll put the thing in again. Oh, pardon me. I'll go away. If people want to come up, they can do. Give your opinions. It'd be interesting to hear other people instead of hearing me talk. Hold on, I'm just doing something. Do. Okay, yeah. So the invitation's out there. If people want to come up, please come up and give your opinion there. And let's say if you wanted to be president, how would you change things? What's the first thing you would change if you ever got into power of a powerful country or a country? What's the first thing you would change? If I was Dick Insider, I would change the Chief of Stiff. I don't think that's a title, mate. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint, but I don't think that is a title. If it is a title, it shouldn't have the title. That's a bit wrong. So I do apologise. Is that important though, Liz? Do you think that is important to have terms? I mean, would that be the first thing on your list? Okay, so what's your term limits? What would you put down in term limits? But you've already got that, haven't you, in the US? The president can only serve 2 terms, can't they? Okay. So, pardon me if I'm being ignorant. I know what the acronym for President of the United States is, but what is SCOTUS? Yeah, I'd like to know what do you mean by SCOTUS? Like I said, pardon me if I was ignorant about that, but I just don't know what that means. So I do apologise. Okay. Well, I thought you were talking about I thought you were talking about the Scottish people. Then I thought, what the bloody hell have we done to you guys now? No. Okay, so you possibly terminate. Would that be important for the Supreme Court? Wouldn't you prefer to have somebody there that who's done the job and who knows the job than somebody who comes in who doesn't know nothing about it? I know Scots always get the blame for everything. All right, we wear kilts and we eat haggis and we like drinking whiskey. Wow. Didn't know that. You learn something new every day. So it doesn't have a legal rule of binding ethics and they have a lifetime position. But can you get fired from your position at the Supreme Court? Or is it a job for life? Wow. A lifetime gig, and technically they can be impeached but requires 3/4 of Congress degree. So partisan, like exactly. I mean, if you put something, if you put like I don't know, Congress would argue black is black is white, and the other one would say no, white is black. They just wouldn't agree with each other, would they? You know. So how would you go about in changing that? Hold on, I'm figuring about the stuff here because some stuff's annoying me. Okay, so how would you go about changing that type of thing? Because that sounds pretty. It sounds pretty much very institutionalized, and it'll take a lot of power to do it. Because people like to get the money from that, don't they? Okay, so but again, Liz, by judging by what's been said here, you need to go through Congress, and would Congress agree on those? Agree on a constitutional amendment? Congress can't agree on the constitutional amendment for the Second Amendment. You know, and that's a whole different thing, which I'm not even getting involved in. But I'm just using that as an example. I mean, that getting those types of things, that how would you guys do it? You can't get Congress can't agree to it. How would you change? You're just so institutionalized in the actual making of America. Exactly. It's like over here we've got the House of Lords. Yeah. I bet you most Americans would agree they need a change in the Second Amendment. And I bet you they would agree with some not to take away, not to demonize people of firearms, which that shouldn't happen, but to make a change just by saying there should be some things that should happen before you get a firearm. It would just make more sense. It'd probably save more lives, but it's something I'm not going to talk about on here at the moment because I know absolutely nothing about it, and it is a very diverse and touchy subject. Dang. But I'm going to. It's like over here. So in Britain, we've got the Houses of Parliament. Yay! We get people coming here. They represent different parts of the country, and they go there and they all agree and they all argue and they wouldn't agree together unless it's for a pay rise. You see many times people vote for a pay rise. Hey, we need a pay rise. Hey. Yeah, sod the poor people who are in this country who can't afford to buy anything. I'll put what Brian says up. Then we're going to chat about that after I finish. So, but we've also got the House of Lords. The House of Lords are an unelected body where if you become a lord, you can sit in the House of Lords and you can vote on laws that are being passed. There was a law about increasing about some money for people on benefits, and people like Andrew Lloyd Webber went against it. And I'm just going to say, hey, Sue, I hope you're well. Glad to see you. It's really good to see you here. So, yeah, so people like that. If I was in charge, I would abolish the House of Lords. I'd get rid of that. It is arcane. It is stupid. It is not representative of the people. The people should be first. That's what I would do if I was in power for Britain. I'd get rid of the House of Lords first. So much money saved. So much money. And get rid of all of them. Yeah. So I'm not too clear in the Senate, so if somebody wants to explain to the Senate to me, I'd like to listen. I'd like to hear about that. Also, while people writing down what the expect thing, I'd like to go over what Brian said. In a perfect world, I'd like to see one person in Congress not talk about how they feel about something, but what the Brian, mate, that's all MPs. That's all MPs. He's even our lot. I'll say MPs, you guys, senators, congressmen. That is everyone. They really are. The SNP in Scotland go, we want this, we want that, we want this. And it is people in Westminster, Wales Parliament and Northern Ireland. They're all self-serving. They all don't care about people. You know, it's how they think. Okay. Liz, the House of Lords is still a major part of British laws and systems. Every corner, we have Congress and the House of Representatives. They agree on a bill which goes to the Senate, and more often the Senate will kill the bill before it goes to the President. That sounds very much like the House of Lords, M corner. That's what happens. What happens is Parliament will vote for new laws will go up to Parliament. Parliament have a lobby, a think tank for it. They'll have a small groups. Then it'll get written in, and Parliament will vote. Then it go down to the House of Lords, and the House of Lords will say yes or no in a voting. Then, if it does get through, the king's got it, the king or whoever sits on the throne gives it royal assent. People say, can the king refuse royal assent? Technically, yes, but they do not. The royal family do not get into politics, or not supposed to get into politics, so they will have to sign it. It is part of what happened during the English Civil Wars. You know, so yeah, it's basically the same here too. Okay, so when has the Senate agreed on something then? And please do not say wage increase. Is the Senate representative of the people of the US? Do they give good representation? You know what, Brian? I have seen that one. I can't remember where I've seen it, but I've seen it. I think I've seen it once or twice, but I've definitely seen it there, mate. And does the Senate filibuster? Do the gaslight? You got to be kidding me. He really done that, did he? Wow. Wow, wow. That's, jeez. Green eggs and a ham. Dear, dear, dear. Also, I'll have to ask this because I think Britain is heading towards a like a user terms political revolution. Is do you think the US? Wow. And why didn't he want to make healthcare cheaper? You know, healthcare isn't like a commie plot or something. You know, healthcare for help the people. Free healthcare for anybody is not a communist plot to take over the US. It is a fundamental right of being a human being. Wow. Jeez. Well, let's face it, Liz. In that time, Britain had more interests about in Europe than it did with the US. It was more like an inconvenience. And when the founding fathers made America and they became the thing, you forget the 1812 war. And but Britain was fighting a war with Napoleon at the time too, which is a greater threat, US or Napoleon? And Napoleon was the greater threat at the point, I think, my opinion. But I'm going back to Ted Cruz. Yeah, I bought and sold for any gold. Yeah, I mean, is there any Republicans out there who'd like to come up and join? I mean, have a sensible debate. Let's get a sort of debate going between Republicans and Democrats. You know, I won't take any shouting or anything like that. Just a sensible debate in how they feel and what things they would like to see happen. Ooh, yeah, we get that. Texas uses safe state Republicans. Hmm. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being conservative. There's nothing wrong with being Republican. There's nothing wrong with being Democrat. There's nothing wrong with voting for Trump because you may speak the language that you understand. There's nothing wrong with being the Democrat, you know. But I'd just be more interested to find anybody else who's got a, I mean, a total Republican view. Okay, so Corner, what's the subsidiary of the special few then? Okay. Is it more? I'm trying to think now. Sorry, I've got a dry mouth. I can't, what was? Hmm. So I'm going to put it towards you, in corner. Right, you make some very good points. If it was possible, if it was possible, would you pay more tax to have free healthcare, or would you pay like over here we have a thing called national insurance, so we pay national insurance, and that I think that supposedly goes to the NHS. So would you like that type of thing? Something happen in your wages, instead of paying insurance companies who can then can fiddle you, they can charge you more than you should to get free healthcare there for yourselves. Because seeing healthcare is a big thing in America. I believe healthcare should be made free for everybody in the world. Mm. Like I said, like I believe that healthcare should be free for anybody in the world, and yes, that's where they got it from, mate. That's where they got it from, the Britain. Yeah, we paid like over here, we pay a thing called national insurance. Our national insurance goes to the NHS. Then some government funding goes to the NHS too, but we can call an ambulance, we can go to the doctors, and we don't have to pay a thing. We don't have to pay like thousands of pounds for medication. We can get our medication, and especially when we're working. All right, maybe a little bit expensive. What we're complaining to, and I think we both know one, Brian, don't we? I think we have seen a couple on here that we both have talked to once at upon a time. Yes, and we do have the option of private healthcare too. Exactly, we have private hospitals, so we can pay for private insurance. And it's, to be honest, it is a better service than the private hospitals. But if you're from a poorer background like me, going to a hospital, I can have a heart operation and it doesn't cost me nothing. You know. Well, we don't talk about him on the here, Liz. So no, 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 no word. He's best left where he is in his well, in his prison cell, really. But we're not going to mention him at all. I don't want to really talk about him now. I know, I know, I know. But you know, being a magna nut doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a bit misguided. But what he done, no, no, that's why we don't mention him. The AC was compromised. Mitt Romney, Mitt Romney, the Mormon who wanted to be president. Yeah, Obama started the Healthcare Act. Yeah, I bet you if America had free healthcare, within 5 years of that happening, people go, "What are we complaining for? We can grab an ambulance. We can do this. We don't have to pay." I mean, how much? Okay, so where you guys are, if you had something go wrong with you, touch wood. Yeah, that is very true, Brian. There's extremists on every single sides, but touch wood, if anything happened to you guys and you needed to call an ambulance, how much would an ambulance cost you just to get to the hospital? But it swings and roundabouts, Liz. You know, It could be thousands. Well, thousands just to call an ambulance to get you to a hospital, to get you seen. Then whatever comes next, you have to pay for the consultations and you have to pay for the doctors and stuff. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable for a person who, from such as me, who was recently in hospital. I've had to have a scan. They couldn't do the scan, so I had to have another scan. I'm waiting. They're waiting to get me booked in for that other scan they couldn't do. But it's unbelievable to me that it costs you thousands, and especially from a I yeah, I think that would benefit the US quite a lot. Their end corner, I really would think would benefit that. It would help. Um, because right now the US spends more than the entire world does on its military. America is the biggest firearms supplier in the world, too. Any weapons systems, any ammunition, any things like that, America is the world's biggest. They dwarf the rest. We also have state paid healthcare in the military. I can understand the military. I believe healthcare should be given to everybody. The only people I'm not going to say the words, but there's only two people, three lots of people that shouldn't have that. Yeah, I mean, there's America spent billions on building a railgun through the British American thing, BAE, the BAE, and they built a railgun, and now they don't want that. But that's good. That is a good thing. Uh, Also, Corner America built some destroyers, and they found out that they weren't any good, and they spent millions and billions on that too, and they get rid of those. You know, these things, medical, food, water, are all parts. You do have a lot of aircraft carriers, and your aircraft carrier battle groups can destroy entire countries, and that's just one. And how many have you got? I can't remember. Have you got? You got. Let me see. Let me have a look at it. I'm just having a look. So sorry for dead air. How many battle groups? Okay, so America has got 11 strike groups, 9 of which are based in the United States, and one that is forward deployed in Yokosuka, Japan. Wow. Yeah. Britain's only got 2. And even then they break down. It's quite comical, really. Good old Britain. And each one of those fleet carriers and the battle groups they belong to can take out a single country. It is really true. Masters of the Navy, yet we build aircraft carriers and they break down. We look at it and go, that's British workmanship, that is. How many does Russia have? How many does China have? Russia hasn't got any battle groups, any aircraft carrier battle groups. They have got the aircraft carrier who was designed from a battle cruiser. I can't remember. It's the Admiral Krichkov. Yeah, Krichkov was commissioned. The worst thing is for that their aircraft carrier, their port sunk into the ocean. Their portable port sunk. That everywhere that animal can eat cloth, or whatever you want to call it, it has to go. That has to be followed by tugs. The planes that you use are out of date now compared to modern planes that the US and the Royal Navy use. Yeah, yeah. It also broke down near Britain too. So there was tugs transporting it down through the international waters in between Britain and the rest of Europe. I think what we learned about we're going off on a tangent, but I quite like this. I quite like this bit of going off. Russian engineering, yeah, Russian engineering. Where it's like their tanks. Where shall we place the ammo? Oh, we'll place it around the turret. We'll place it around the turret so they can be fed quite easier. Yeah, that makes it more explodable, mate. I think what we've learned from the Ukraine war, or from the war in Ukraine. Ooh. Actually, Australia hasn't got that much of a population. Britain's got a bigger population than Australia. And I was laughing at M called it. M said a bottle of vodka. I need a bottle of vodka to go on the Russian tank, I tell you that. And Canada's got I don't know the population of Canada. Hold on. Britain's got a bigger population than Canada too, but less area. Britain's got a population of 67.3, just over 67 million. Yeah, so but that is a very good point, though. But I think Britain should invade America and take America back and become British again. Yeah, Britain's quite a densely populated country for the size that we are. But I think what we've learned from the war in Ukraine is that the Russian army isn't all that brilliant. The Russian armed forces are not. Compared to westernized weapons and the weapon systems that we've used, with Ukraine should have been very, very true. So we've got to say hello, Liz. Hello, Liz. Ukraine should have been actually annexed by Russia by now. They should have been if everything was all correct there. That is very true. I've worked with I have worked with a Russian, and he said, "Where there's a saying in Russia: if you can't fix something, throw as many men as you can at it." It didn't work in World War One. It sort of worked in World War Two. Yes, so that's very yeah. America's got a vast amount of population there. And in World War Two, the German soldiers who were defending the pushback from the push from Russia, were getting PTSD from the amount of people that they were actually mowing down by machine guns, and that is the truth. There were rush waves and waves of men just coming over from Russia, and the Germans couldn't. Some of the Germans couldn't handle it. Yeah, and it doesn't work like that anymore now. People, like I say, people think that the Russian army was fantastic. It was really well trained, and it turns out to be it's not. Well, Brian, they do say everything's bigger than Texas. Yep, mostly conscripts. There haven't been time to train them. People talking about European armies getting conscripts and people conscription. But the British Army, you do 12 to 14 weeks of basic training. Then after that, you do your trade training, which can take up to a year, 2 years. All right, right, son, don't get big headed. Don't get big headed there, lad. Um, yeah, I'm just saying for what I know. I know only about the British Army. So the British Army do 12 to 14 weeks of basic training. Then they do the trade training, which can take up to a year or 2 years. Then you get posted to your actual regiments, and then you can get without you could get posted wherever they're posted. So they do get trained. Is there enough time to train conscripts like that? You know, I'll go away. Wow. We have a school which is I don't know if you've ever heard of it. If you're interested in military matters, called Sandhurst. I think it's older than West Point. Oh, come on, Liz. Don't you wish you were run by a king or queen? It's so fun. Um, we have a school called Sandhurst which trains officers. You join as a officer, and it's one of the lowest. It is the lowest rank in the British Army. It's lower than privates. Yep, we have corporal staff sergeants. Also, we do have warrant officers, class 1 and class 2, which are higher than corporal sergeants and sergeant majors. We don't have sergeant majors anymore. We've got the sergeant major of the British Army, which is one of the high prestigious ranks. But we do have staff sergeants and colour sergeants. Depends which ones you join. If you join a corps, you most likely you'll be a staff sergeant. If you join the infantry or anything to do with the infantry, you're a colour sergeant. Oh, come on, Liz. Wouldn't you like to see your face? Wouldn't you like to see my face on a coin? I'd be king of America. Instead of dollars, we should call it some other name like Spondoolies or. Ooh, Texas is not a country at all. Oh dear, 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 dear. Is Texas? I could become king of Texas. Yeah, so M quarter. Yeah, so that's the ranks. So you've got the non-commissioned officers, which are your lance corporals, your corporals, sergeants, staff sergeants, colour sergeants. You also get your RSM, which is your regimental sergeant major. Um, Also, you get your warrant officer class 1 and warrant officer class 2, and these are all non-commissioned. Then you get your commissioned from your lieutenants to your majors to your colonels to your generals to your lieutenant generals to your field marshals and blah blah. There's only been a very few people that have actually went up from being a private in the British Army to a field marshal. There's only one or two people who've actually done that. So yeah. So anyway, the StreamYard's out there. If anybody would like to come up and join, please come up and join. Analysis is based on that. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's still several regiments in the American Armed Forces that still has ties with British regiments because of the American Revolutionary War. Because there's a lot of American regiments actually fought for Britain during that time. And your armed forces and the American armed forces are based on the British armed forces, mostly being the SAS. Yes, he did. Yes, he was. And in fact, if I remember right, talking about the Revolutionary War, if the British Parliament gave representation for the 13 colonies, there would have been no war. Oh, I had to look at that, Liz. Oh dear Lord. You could have phrased that better because I had my eyesight's going and it looked like something else what you wrote. I thought no. It did look like something else. I thought, wow, Liz, that's a bit extreme. I know goats are cute creatures and all that, but no need to go that far in life. Yeah, but that's what that's what they just gave representation. There'd have been no need for what had happened, but of course, representation didn't happen, and the people got peed off, and you ended up with a war. 13 colonies broke away and became the United States. Then you had your own problems dealing with what has been happening with different states belong to different countries from there. Liz, she's too busy thinking about goat. I'm using inverted commas like Joey did. Goat roping. I know it's going off a subject again. I'm going off the subject again. Okay. There was Dallas, Knots Landing, Dynasty, and what's the other one? Yes, you're exactly right. He's yeah, he's you know more about the goat, but leave the goats alone, people. Leave the goats. They've done no harm to anybody. Yeah, a lot of them. You find a lot of the American founding fathers had a lot of ties with Britain. God, somebody think about the bloody goats. Just leave them. They don't deserve it. They're good people. They're good animals. They give milk, which males to make cheese, and the goat curry is rather nice too. I've tried it. It is spectacular. Thank God there's no. Oh, we leave the roping alone. Oh. Soon we'll be talking about Goat Hub. Okay, mate. Brian, it's glad to see you here. I'm sorry you had to listen to Liz talking about goat roping. I didn't expect that from a good Christian woman like her. She should leave the goats alone. She should seek immediate help from that. I don't know what's wrong with her, mate. Really, I'm so sorry about this. But you take care, mate, and I'll speak to you soon. Please don't talk about debanking and goat roping. It just does not work. Hey, Spike, my man, how you doing? good to see you. We're having a discussion about goat roping. Trust me, it was not me. And we're also talking about with M Corner about American military history too. Oh no. I'm going to leave this up channel to the goats. The goats want to take over the world. I blame Liz for goat roping. Talking about that, does anybody does anybody watch the Grand Tour on Amazon? And the Grand Tour, you know, with Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and I forgot the other guy's name. When they go to Colombia, when they're traveling through South America, and they found the village and what they'd done to donkeys. I can't say. He was looking through his glass, looking through his glass, and he sees a man next to a donkey, and he says, "I can't see what they're doing." And he got a translator to go up to him. And he goes, "Are you doing this to the donkeys?" And they went, "Yeah, yeah, we are." I don't know if it's true or not, but I thought, what the hell? What's the well, they're still on Amazon. This hasn't moved from Amazon. So it may be different for you guys over there, but over here it's still on my Amazon Prime. And Richard Hammond goes, I think it was Richard Hammond, goes, "Oh, look, there's a donkey." And Jeremy Clarkson goes, "No, we're moving, we're going, we're going, we're going. What's up?" Not saying, and then driving off. That's Top Gear. Yeah, that's Top Gear's different program, different names, almost same type of program. I love Top Gear; it is brilliant. I'm gonna put the thing up again. I didn't see the Paul Hogan one. I'll tell you which one was the good one in Top Gear they done. They had to build ambulances out of the cars they've chosen. Jeremy Clarkson chose a Porsche. Richard Hammond chose a van. And oh, what's his other name? Somebody help me out. Okay, hold on. I need to find this out. It's killing me now. James May. And James May brought a hearse. And same premise. Yeah, it really is, Liz. Yeah, it is. And James May brought a hearse, and they had to pick up these people that were involved in like this big, massive accident. A meteor hit the earth, and there was bodies everywhere. And they pushed it, put them in the ambulances. And Richard Hammond, they had to get him delivered to the what they called the hospital. And Richard Hammond's ejector system was a massive steam-powered ejector system, and he catapulted this person straight through to the hospital window. It was just a classic bit of Top Gear. Sam again and Craig McTavish. Wasn't two men killed? Firstly, with Ewan McGregor. Yeah, we don't talk about much about James Corden. Yeah, I watched Red Queen. What's Red Queen, Liz? I've got to see that. Red Queen. Okay. Hold on, let me have a look at this. Two men in a kilt. I'm sure Ewan McGregor was there. Oh, I must have been mistaken. I watched a program where Richard Hammond, Father Brown. Um, uh, I don't watch much TV. This, to be honest. Okay, well, I'll look that up there, Liz. I'll definitely look that up there. I saw James Corden get hit by wearing a clown mouse costume. I would have paid money for that. Serious. You all right, James? How's it going? Shouldn't say that. That's bad. No, it isn't really. Apparently he's quite a horrible person in real life. No, apparently he really is quite a horrible person. He's too up himself. See, I hate people like that. Honestly, if somebody done that to me, I'd have to headbutt them. Walk up to them, just stick it on them. Smack. Don't be an ass. So, what is Red Queen there, Liz? Give me the premise, as I said. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. Am I wrong in finding a little bit of joy in that? Am I? Oh, well, I don't care. I'm never going to meet him. Anyway, stories about him are terribly stuck up. Yes, yeah, her stories have been. He's always been a bit like that. When he done, I don't know if you ever heard of Gavin and Stacey. Um, even Rob Brydon said he was horrible. He had to be a horrible person. No, M Corner. There's a. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I've heard of him. There's a Scottish comedian called Frankie Boyle, and what you'd probably say about James Corden when he was in his old past versions of himself, because he's changed. He's now become like this leftist person. He said he could quite happily what he could. You paraphrasing here, so he used this on a young guy, and he said, "You know what? Okay." And he said to this comedian, actually said to this young guy, he said, "I could watch you being great and not feel a flicker of emotion." That's what he said to this young guy. Could that happen to James Corden? I don't know. I've just heard he was a very awful man. If I could show you without getting demonetized, without getting it channel struck, I would show you what he actually said. To this poor boy. And he was a good host, but pity his alter ego takes over and disowns that. Liz, I'll definitely look for that on Amazon. I'll see if it's my thing. I like to keep myself up to date with these types of things, so I will have an eye out for that. I do. Oh, poor James. He gets a bit tight, doesn't he? He really does. He brings it onto himself. He does bring it onto himself. You find people like that. Oh, Liz, but he has been awful to people. He really has. He was really bad to this person because they didn't serve him the type of omelette he wanted. He could have made. He could have said, "Look, this is not the right food. Give him, take it back and give it to him." But he berated them. He berated him in this restaurant, and the restaurant manager said, "You know, you done this to this person. You made him like here. He's a male. Isn't Ellen DeGeneres male herself?" Joking, joking. Yeah, she was quite a horrible person too. Apparently, wasn't she? She made even guests on her show feel bad. I mean, is it it's a trait of all like people here? You know? Listen, leave David Spade. I won't say this again. Leave David Spade alone. He is Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt is one of the best comedies around. Not as good in Joe Dirt 2, but Joe Dirt, the original, fantastic. Yeah, yeah. It's all in addition to the fake niceness that she has. Lisa, why do people do that? You got to remember, life is a garden. Dig it. But I'll still say, massive crush on the actress who plays Brandy in Joe Dirt. Oh, she's stunning. She is beautiful. I don't know what it is about her, but there's something about her. And you got to admit, Kid Rock plays a really good part in that movie too. Brittany Daniel. Oh, Brittany Daniel. I don't know. I don't know who's. I mean, you got me when me and Liz watched the coronation. You got Penny DeMont. Oh, she was stunning in that too. But she's a Conservative MP. I don't know how I feel about that. And you got Brittany Daniel. Yeah. Oh, my heart goes ticky ticky boom boom, ticky ticky boom boom. Yeah, nobody knock Chris Pratt while you're here because Liz is in the house. Liz has got a terrible, terrible, massive, massive crush on Chris Pratt. Straight to the point, Liz. Straight to the point. Tom, yeah, Tom. I did hear reversal mortgage and that. Oh, Chris, Chris Pratt, won't he? Oh, he takes it tight, doesn't he? Okay, I've got to ask you this. M Corner, what? I've got a vision of Family Guy in my head when the moustaches, when the mayor, when the new mayor is farming moustaches. That's what I've got in my mind. I want to know what OG what L Liz has got against Chris Pratt. The floor is yours. Why don't you like Chris Pratt? That's what you got when you, that's what I thought of when we said when you said about his moustache. Keanu Reeves has got to be the nicest guy in Hollywood. He's the only guy I mind you, Tom Cruise done it too. But Keanu Reeves has been on the London Underground so many times that, that people don't bother with him. I was thinking Jesse Ventura's mustache in the 1980s when he done Predator. Also, this is a story from Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise went on the London Underground. But we're starting about talk. That's your fault, Liz. You should have said Tom Hanks. So Tom Cruise was on London Underground, and people were going past and checking him out. And this one girl just stared at him, and he gave her a wink, and she just took a picture. And she never bothered with him. And so somewhere, somebody in Britain has got a picture of Tom Cruise smiling at her. Tom Hanks. Yeah, I heard Tom Hanks is a nice guy. He's been on the Graham Norton show a few times. The sexual Tyrannosaurus. Again, Family Guy. The Tyrannosaurus Rex having some private time. Computer. Wipes. Types in, gets what he wants on the thing. Then he finds out his arms are too short. I'm not going to say anything more, but you can probably guess. And that's why a Tyrannosaurus Rex is angry. Well, I heard one story, and it was again about Tom Hanks, and it was refuted because one of the journalists almost knocked over his wife, and he retaliated back by pushing the journalist. The journalist should not have pushed his wife. He was only retaliating for his wife there, so he was in the right to do that. I want to know, why is it when I do a live, when I try to get a point out, it always ends up talking about other things. And it's bordering short of lady. Jesus Christ. No. No. The person who issued the gun has got was being found guilty of that, and that was in the movie Rust, if I remember right. Well, that may be true. There's that definitely may be true. Jesus. Rust in peace. No, 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 no. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Well, to be honest, Liz, we're almost there already. So we're going to go down that rabbit hole. Let's go down it together. Let's take that journey. Go for it. We, M Corner, we'll go down the seat. The chat want it. Sorry, OG. The people here want it, so it's going down that hole. The floor is yours. Dear. M Corner, The Green Mile is an excellent and very beautifully made movie. It is one of the best movies that came out from the Stephen King world. The guy who, what's his name? He died. He died a couple of years ago, didn't he? What's his name? Oh, forget his name. Michael Clark. Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan. Excellent actor. Yeah, yeah. He's sadly, very, very sadly, his yeah. He. Do you know one of his other best movies was Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby? That is so funny. Don't you put that evil on me, Bobby? Don't you put that evil on me? Dear little sweet baby Jesus. Jesus was a man, but I like to think he was a baby. I haven't seen Daredevil. I didn't. I haven't heard it was that good. But I remember him being in. You're just an old soppy person in real life, aren't you, Liz? You really are just an old soppy person. I do remember Michael thing was if I think Colin Farrell's worst movie was Alexander, getting an Irishman to play a Macedonian. Come on. But talking about Michael Clark Duncan, one of his funniest roles was in the no, 2.5 Men. That was pretty funny. That yeah. And every time I think of Colin Farrell now, I always think of Family Guy when Peter dresses up as a potato and Colin Farrell goes, "You're a feisty potato now, aren't you?" and goes after him. Yeah, but Liz, it was an awful, awful movie. It was awful. It does. It does because Macedonians looked a certain way, and yet you got it's like the casting of Sean Connery in Red October, The Hunt for Red October too. He played a Russian sea captain with a Scottish accent. Yeah, Piers Brosnan is from near the banks of the Boyne. Actually, Piers Brosnan done. Yes, he did. What can you do? I can play a Russian sea captain. Yes. What are you doing today? I am playing a Spanish quote. Was he a Spanish lord in Highlander? Yeah, playing a Spanish lord. Yes. You know, that's a very good point. You know, we can do things for the Rust, but this shouldn't have happened. Yeah, yes, I am Russian. Yeah. Um, Medicine Man. I think I've seen that one. Hold on. I mean, yep, I've seen that one. Yeah, the Amber Heard trial. Yeah, that was a bit. That was a bit of a kerfuffle, wasn't it? Uh, what would be the best Sean Connery movie? Best Sean Connery. I'm going to have a look this up. You chat between yourselves. Best Sean Connery. Yeah. I think the best Sean Connery movie would be my favorite Sean Connery movie is The Untouchables. That is my favorite movie. Sean Connery is almost Gandalf. I couldn't imagine that. Liz, I'll pick this up because I know we talked to. Have you ever seen Darby O'Gill and the Little People? Sure, yeah, yes. Yeah, that was a really good part. That suited him really well. What was his name? Junior. Junior? Yeah. How did he get named Indiana? Indiana was a dog's name. Welcome to the Rock. Yes. Um, he was also in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, too. We can't forget that. That's a pretty interesting movie too, wasn't it? Another good English accent coming from Kevin Costner. I wonder which part of England he came from. Highlander 2 was pretty terrible. Yep, and Highlander 3 was pretty terrible after that. Also, the Highlander series was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Then also they done the other movies to Highlander, then that were pretty much terrible as well. Just be easier to name the bad movies. Brigadoon. Oh, Jesus Christ. Brigadoon, for fuck's sake. God. Why do people mention Brigadoon? Outlander and Brigadoon are just fantasy movies. They are. I'm trying to try to be polite. Oh, Steven Seagal, Master of Aikido. um, Liz, please don't watch Brigadoon. No, you don't need to. You don't need to see Brigadoon. It is a terrible people. It's a terrible movie. Absolutely terrible. It's sure. Means Steven Seagal, Master of Aikido. Aikido. What the hell is that all about? No, Paul is not lying through his teeth. It's a terrible movie. Liz, it is a shocking movie. Well, to be honest, then, Corner, so am I, mate. So am I. I do like a good buffet. I may not be able to throw people around like the way Steven Seagal does, but I will smack him over the head if he tries to take my sandwich. Poor Steven Seagal. He gets it really bad everywhere, doesn't he? He gets so bad for people. What did he do to deserve all this? All right, he's went over to Russia and he said, "I love you, Putin." He's probably bent over for him too. I shouldn't say that. No, I shouldn't say that because if I say that, I'll probably have Russian people trying to poison me. I don't want to get Russians peed off of me. Wow. But to be honest, Tim Corner, let's be truthful about this. If you could get away with it, would you do that too? I mean, I would do that. I mean, if I could sit down and somebody walk up the stairs, well, yeah, go, mate, it's up there. Go. I'm getting paid the thousands, you getting paid the ten and the hundreds. Hey, works out. But I never mentioned a personal mobility scooter. Mind you, I have been on one of those once or twice. I'm not going to say why, but I have been one, and they're brilliant. When I was driving through a town, and hold on, what are you doing? Hold on a minute. Um, guys, carry on talking to yourselves. I'll be 5 minutes, okay? Hey guys, hold on. I'm going to see if you can hear me. Can you hear me out there? I walked in at the wrong point because all I seen was cumin and I read it wrong. Yeah, sorry about that. Friend upstairs, she was a bit ill and she's got a phobia about being sick. So I yeah, so I had to help her and look after her. So yeah, so I do apologise about that. So just had to make sure she was all right. So gave her some water and helped in other ways, and just to make sure she's okay there. So I do apologise about leaving you guys there. So sorry. Okay, so I'm going to see who's here. Hold on. She's strapped in. Yeah. Single soft kitty. I think she'd probably kill me first if I ever sung soft kitty to her. She's strapped in, sedated. Well, yeah, I had to make sure of that too, mate. The Rohypnol does work in my mysterious of ways. Liz, I will ban you if you sing that song. Uh, yeah, okay. Right. No, nothing like Vic's. No, she was just ill and she's got a phobia about being sick. So Vic's Vapor Rub wouldn't have helped anyways. No. M Corner, if you mention his name again, I will buy you too. This is a Mike Seavery zone. The reason why he's just a dick. Let's be truthful. It's not that, because you can be. He's banned from international waters. Yeah. He's definitely, mate, definitely. It's not that he's a channel copper. He's a constant channel copper, and he's a what we call over here a bully bullshitter. And I don't need it. I don't need that on my panel, mate. I don't need him up at all. I wouldn't give him a time of day on here. If I see his name, I don't care if I had one or two people on here. I'd just boot him straight away. It's not that. It just talks constant crap. It is crap that comes out of his mouth. I've never heard anything like it before in my life. He's done this, he's done that, he's done this, he's done that. And I'd rather talk about a syphilitic three-legged donkey than him. Oh, God, yes. No, we do not, Liz. That is very true. We have two rules over here, as people know. I'm very strict on these rules. No bullshitting and no drama. If you bring drama over here, you get told. And if you don't like it, I'll just leave. I'll just boot you out. I don't care who they are. I haven't banned anybody. I may have banned one person. I'm not going to mention his name, but I haven't banned anybody else. So if anybody here say they've been on here and banned, they haven't. I don't need to. You just make them feel uncomfortable and they don't belong. I like the company we've got, and I like this. But anyway, Liz, let's be truthful. You probably could ban me more than I'd ban you. I'm not going to mention that name, but you may be on the right tracks to that one, M Corner. That person is nothing more than a playground bully who thinks himself something, and he is the same as all the rest of us. Yeah. Who keeps on talking about theories that have nothing to do with history but come from the 1980s. It's just really weird. Mind you, it is history now, but yeah, he just tries to add them into other parts of history, and it's that. No, M Corner, I have seen him on a few panels. He has been on a few other panels. He does go on there. I have seen him in Irish Demons chat, and he also does go on another panel somewhere else. I don't go around follow him. I just seen him. I think I've seen him on there. But as a hard time from banning Liz, no. We couldn't ban Liz. Oh, well, he can go there. He can say that he can do whatever he wants there. Liz, he can do that whatever he wants. As long as he isn't here, as long as I don't have to see him, I don't care about him. As far as I'm concerned, he's a non-entity, and he doesn't exist within this sphere of the world. After calling me, and this is a college professor. He called me white British trash. Then he goes, "That's okay, because I can call him that because I'm British too." Sorry. He said I'm white British trash, and he said it's okay because I can call you that because I'm British too. There you go. So he has been seen around, but I will say, I'm trying to, like I say, stay away from these types of channels. What's going to happen when that channel in Nevada opens up again? If it does open up again, what's going to happen? So you have to ask yourselves that too. Even what's the other Egypt going to do when that channel comes back? It could be a possibility. It could be a possibility. But like I say, I'm not going to talk about those three now. My channel's not here for trash, and our channel here is to have a discussion and have a light-hearted chat where we go down rabbit holes because Elizabeth likes going down these rabbit holes, and she's always the bringer of these rabbit holes to this channel, not me. I am a good, virtuous person. I don't think like that. I am a holy person. I'm virtuous, charming, but get led easily astray by the people in the chat. So there. But it is true though. What's going to happen when he does come back, and he will come back, and he will do his channel again? There's all the possibility that this will happen. Liz, can you just rephrase that, please? Just rephrase that. Been When is he coming out? Is he? That is true. He will have to do that sometimes, but as we've seen from history, he doesn't do that all the time, does he? As this is not the first time he's been in an institution. Normally, when people have been in an institution, they probably learn from it. Well, some learn from it, and the majority don't. But he's been in institution there, so. Mm. And is it like what we do over here? If you get like a 3-year sentence, you could do half of it, then you get put on license, and you're in under licenses when you get home. Is it like that over there too? And what conditions were they put in? If that is over there, what conditions were they put him in for their license? That's what you have to ask yourselves. Okay, so this is was this a long sentence or a short one? To be honest, it's not that long, is it? That's just under 3.5 years. It's not a long sentence. So here's another good topic for debate. Should prisoners serve longer sentences or shorter ones with a license, and also with a work in the community, or doing something in the community that may be beneficial to the community but not the prisoner? And Dem Corner, are you still here, mate, or have you gone now? Okay, so should they make prison? Should they, for people like career criminals, and we all know who we're talking about? He's had numerous chances. He has numerous records. Should they be given longer prison sentences, or should they have shorter ones, but do work in a community that are not beneficial to them, but to the community itself? Yeah. So what happens is you get, when you do over here, you do 5 years, you can be out in 2.5 years, but under sentence. You do anything wrong within those 2.5 years, you can be sent to jail. Looks like M Corner's dropped out. Well, if he has dropped out, it's nice seeing you, mate. You're always welcome on here. We always have a good laugh and talk about things. Okay. Would you like to see him have longer probations and longer paroles, or longer prison sentences? From the corner back. I don't know, Liz. As much as I think what I think about this person, well, I'm not here. I'm not using this channel to bash them. There's other more successful channels for that type of thing than here. But I will open it. We'll open it to. Okay, yeah. So he's specific. So his case right now. Would you have liked to see him to have a longer sentence, or would you have liked to see him have a longer parole? As I say, there's not going to bash people here. People are free to choose and go anywhere they want to. We just have a good laugh and talk, and if their names comes up, we'll make a point of talking about it, but we will not try to bash them in that way. I understand longer sentence, but wouldn't that cost more, the taxpayer? Definitely rephrase that one, Liz. Definitely rephrase that one. But is it really, though, Liz? Is it really? Is it really money well spent? If you look at it, right, you're putting a roof above their head, you're giving them meals, and yeah, and you're giving them a roof above the head, you're giving them meals and the ability to work. So I don't think it's money real well spent. My dad with virtual verbal bashing. Okay. But I like this one from Liz. He needs to do the full term of minimum 5 years of probation. Yeah. And once out, get a maintain a job outside the home and participate in community services and therapy. I think that could be the way forward there, Liz. I really do. With criminals, sometimes people with criminals, they don't feel like they've got any other choice to do it, so they go and rob somebody or go and steal a burglar house because they feel like I've got no choice. But give a person a choice, they may change their ways. .5 years probation. What happens if? What would you do if he breaks the probation, though, Liz? If you had a criminal like that, what would you do if they broke the minimum 5 years? How long would you keep them inside for? I don't know, Liz. I could think of plenty of things busybodies and minds can get into trouble with. Sorry. Oh, Lord. Please strike me down. Uh, 1 year parole violation. Or should it be set if you break your probation? Okay, so what I see is this is what I'd think of. Right, so he needs to do the full term. Oh, no, he doesn't, Liz. Oh, no, he doesn't, OG. Sorry. So, if you were going to have a prisoner in a bad man and he does a full term, then he goes and does the minimum 5 years probation. And if he breaks a probation, I think it should be double the sentence that he originally got. It should be like a double sentence. If he got sent down for 5 years and you've done that, he should be sent down for 10 years if he breaks it. It's an old saying in any English country, Liz. We have that over here. The devil makes use of idle hands. Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry. I blame Liz Elizabeth for leading me down a rabbit hole. That's all I can say. I'm a good godly person. Yes, really I am. Praise be to the Almighty. We have no blaspheming here. Remember, I only said Jehovah and wanted a bit of halibut for my tea, and said that was a lovely bit of halibut, worthy of Jehovah. If you get that reference, yeah, Liz. But we're talking about hypothetically here. Hypothetically, we can change anything we want to. It's a hypothetical world. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that time. You tried to tell me he was a godly person, and you wouldn't. And yeah, but you still ended up in jail. So much for a godly person. Really, really, so much. I believe if you believed in every word that was said in by the big guy, you would leave this virtuous life, and you wouldn't harm anybody, and you wouldn't do anything yourself. And thank you very much, Ellis. Thank you. But if you believed everything the big guy said, you wouldn't be harming people. The big guy is all about love. That's all he was all about. Love and understanding. His main things he done in life. After all, he chopped off the Roman soldier's ear. No, one of his disciples chopped off the Roman soldier's ear, and he put it back together again. You know. Okay. Well, the charges he got sent was some of them were quite grim. They were quite grim, and nobody should do that to anybody, no matter who they are. Hmm. So yeah, so I. But how would you change it though? How can you, American Constitution is a great thing, but it's also sometimes it holds Americans back too because if everything is sacrosanct and you can't change the Constitution, well, unfortunately, there's been so many amendments to the Constitution, you can change it. If the powers to be wanted to change, they can change it. You know, anything is possible. That is very true. I totally agree with you what you said there. The problem is getting all the right players into place, and that is half the problem we talked about earlier. That's talking about the Senate and Congress and whoever. It's the same over of us, with the Houses of Parliament, the House of Commons, and you got the House of Lords. It's finding the people to do it. The House of Lords would obviously, if that was over here, you would get maybe a more conservative approach from the House of Lords, and then from the Commons, you may get more of a like a conservative Labour mix. It'd be a very close vote, but definitely in the House of Lords, definitely a more conservative look from there. Which is why most people would like to see the House of Lords gone. I don't think it's fit for purpose anymore. I don't think we really need it. We just need to get rid of it straight off. It's not representative of the people, but just representative of the rich and wealthy. If you can get people like Andrew Lloyd Webber voting on legal matters, then something is wrong. You do know unionisation was invented in Britain, there, Liz. It was invented in England by the Toll Puddle Martyrs. That's where unionisation started. Look up the Toll Puddle Martyrs, and that's when it came from. Yeah, it's well, yeah, because in America, like you said, we've just had a discussion. You've got the Senate and Congress, or Congress and Senate. I can't remember which one. Well, Google the Toll Puddle Martyrs, and also the great unions of the Victorian times, um, workers' rights, and stuff like that too. It's all fascinating piece of history, you know. Okay. Well, it's like how, like you say, the House of Lords and the House of Commons represents the House of Westminster or the West or Parliament. These are all progress. These are all parts of power. And over here, we do not vote for the man. As people get lots of mistaken that when you hear people saying, "But your prime minister is unelected." No, you may be right there, but what his thing is, we don't vote for the prime minister. We vote for the party. So whether the party wins, the chairman or the leader of that party will say, "Yes, that's me. I'm now the prime minister." Woohoo! They'll jump for joy, and we'll end up with Keir Starmer next general election. I guarantee it. We'll have a Labour government next time. We have a. When's our next general election? The next UK general election will be held next year which should be held no later than 28th of January 2025. So we'll be looking at a new government, because there's no way the Conservative government are getting into power this term. It'd be definitely be a new government getting into here. Exactly. This is the point I was making before. The rich will what's the word I'm looking for? exploit. The rich will exploit the rules, and then you'll see whoever think they'll say they're helping us, and neither will help. Neither will help. Neither parties will help the poor in Britain. Neither help the parties will help the poor in the US or anything like that. Um, well, that chat deserves to go up on panel there. There you go. You got that there. Yeah, yeah. People with good intentions seek power, but power will corrupt. Is that better, Liz? Or I could put this one up for you too. How was that? Sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. I do apologise. Oh, okay. Yeah, so power will corrupt people. You may get, like you say, you think you give it all good intentions in the world, but we will get shafted by whoever's in charge. Every single one of us. We can all sit and complain. But it's very hard. There's two bloody Liz's and only one bloody Paul. There's nobody else on this panel here. We've got 5 people watching. And my brain hurts. I feel abused and not in a good way. And will you two stop picking on me? You're like two. You just stop picking on me. Who's Tommy Smothers? I don't know who he is. Why do people give me weird names? I don't know who Tommy Smothers is. The Smothers Brothers. I don't know them. I'm looking. No, I don't know any of their songs. I don't know them. I've never seen them before in my life. Sorry. Maybe a big thing in America, but I'm British. Have you ever heard of Bungle? I don't think so. Exactly. Exactly. They're not like the Beatles. Yes, there may have been a thing in America, but over here, no. I don't know who they were. They were bigger than the Beatles. All right, you guys carry on chatting. I'm just going to get a drink because I'm really thirsty now. Okay, I'm back. I just had to get a drink. Okay, so do I supposed to do tea bags exist and get used in the UK? Okay. Well, you ask the hard hitting questions, Liz, don't you? Okay. Right. Do tea bags get used in here? Yes. Okay, hold on. Tea bags do get used over here. They are the most commonly used things for tea in Britain. People who love a good cup of tea will have tea bags. I have got tea bags. I rarely drink tea, but I have always got a stack of tea bags in the cupboard because they keep forever. Lipton tea is not tea. That's that horrible lemon stuff, isn't it? Yeah, that's not tea. We we do. Okay, let me get right. Let me get this up. I'm going to get this up here. Carry on for a minute. I'll be back 1 second. Let's get this up here for the. Oh, let me get this. I'll find a good picture for you, Liz, so you can see. Okay, okay. No, that's not a good one. No, that's not a good one. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, we do better tea over here. Okay, so Liz has gone to the toilet. I am left with. I don't know where the other Liz has gone. Liz Elizabeth. She's disappeared too. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she's had to go and do something else. Don't diss Lipton tea. Lipton tea is absolutely crap. We have got so much tea over in this country, and so many different types of teas. And I don't need to apologise, Liz. I thought you were doing stuff. That's why. Thing. I don't know. I don't know the Smothers Brothers. Smother Brothers. It sounds a very weird thing to call yourself the Smother. I mean, what a name to think of. Who are you? We're the Smother Brothers. It sounds like a mass murderer. They're probably very nice people. I get that, but the name just sounds like they buried people, they smothered people and buried them in the forest somewhere. Yeah, we do love our tea, which is really weird. because back before the mass imports of tea happening, there were more coffee shops in London than there was tea shops. No, you didn't miss the picture. You didn't miss the picture. So I'm trying to find a good one for you, Liz. Okay. All right, so we're going to use this one here. All right, let me click on it. Let me do this. Okay. Pick off, you stupid lady thing. Okay, so let me present. Okay, screen share. Okay, right. Okay, let me see. This is. Hold on, let me get this bigger. This is a typical tea aisle. That aisle there where my arrow is. Okay, hold on, let me want you to see that. That is all full of tea. There you go. Let me try to balloon this up. See, that's all teas and coffees, it looks like. Yep. I'll show you which side. That side there. Teas and coffees. Yeah. There is a. Yeah. Because you've got. No, it isn't a serious fight. The tea comes first. The milk should come in later. Tea should be served extremely hot. If you put milk in with the tea, if you put if you put the milk first, it takes the heat off the tea. It cools it down a lot quicker. So tea first, then milk. The tea is for wussies. Yeah. Okay. I don't drink tea. I don't drink a tea. I hardly drink tea, and if I do drink tea, it'll be green tea, and I don't take milk. So yeah, I do think that. Hold on. Yeah, so you drink hot tea with milk. Oh God, we're starting an argument about milk and okay. So they can't, Liz. I can't, OG. I've been born over here. It'd be very hard. Okay. So how do you make to Liz Elizabeth? How do you make your tea? No, like I said, I can't. They can't revoke my citizenship. I'm British all the way through and through. No, Liz, no, OG. We don't have to drink our minimum. Like I think you Americans like to think that we do, and I think that tea is important. But no, I actually prefer coffee to tea. You know, I do prefer that. Yeah, like I say, the only real teas I drink are like green teas and or something, and that's very rare. Yeah, I don't know why it is. Americans think we'd be like, yeah, I don't know why. It's just weird. It's like perception of America. People think of hamburgers and hot dogs and pizzas. You Americans think of us with spotted dick and cups of tea and boiled meats. It's not like that at all. That is the British way of doing it, Liz. Drop the bag in, steep it, pull the bag. Yeah. Add the sugar and milk to the. Yep, that is very true. That is how we make our cups of tea over here. And the Boston Tea Party, well, that was to do with more taxation. And as I said before, I think you're gone. Britain, at the time of the Boston Tea Party and all that's happening, I think Britain had more coffee shops than actual tea shops. Tea was more of a Victorian thing than at the time of King George. Red rose tea. Well, we can get red rose tea over here too. Yeah, I never knew that. Yeah, Queen Victoria. Because Queen Victoria wore a white gown for her wedding, people started doing it, and also bringing in the Christmas trees too. Bringing in the Christmas trees that was more to do with Prince Albert, because that was more to do with a German tradition. And they brought in Christmas trees in the house, and that's it. So that was quite a thing. Anyway, guys, it's been great talking. It really has, but I'm getting a little bit tired. I'll keep this going for another till 3 hours, and I'm going to close it down. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? I I haven't got a clue what you mean there, Liz. What do you mean? Well, Liz, I'm not going just yet, Liz. I'm just going to shut this down in a couple more minutes. Give it 3 hours. Give it a nice round number. But I am getting tired now. I'm getting old. I'm thinking about biscuits too. I've got some fig rolls I need to munch. But yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been all great you being here. Oh no. When you talk about Prince Albert over here, Liz, OG, sorry, when you talk about Prince Albert over here, type in what is a Prince Albert, Great Britain, and you'll find out it is a type of piercing that leads from one place to the other. That's what a Prince Albert is. Ah, yes, yes, that's the Prince Albert I'm talking about. So when I did say when they said Prince Albert, they can. It sort of threw me a bit because that's the only Prince Albert I know of, and that yeah, so that did throw me. There's a Prince Albert in the can. Like what? No, and so just maybe take a second look. No, I wouldn't have seen that. Well, Liz, you've got a laptop. Google Prince Albert and see what you think. Okay. I was 49 only last month. Google it. Google it, Liz. Google it, OG. Just Google it. Yeah. I was 49 in February. I feel so tired. Teabag. Whoa, 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 whoa! I was gonna go, but whoa! The Spikes came up with something. Green tea bags. Why would you put them in your boot? I don't know. Oh no, 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 no. This is Spike. Just type in yes or no. Are you leading me down a rabbit hole? And if so, why? No, no, it's February. I'm February. I'm a February child. Pisces, fish. No, no. But the 23rd. You're a bad man, Spike. A bad, bad man. Lead me down rabbit holes. Shocking. I am shocked. I'm a God fearing person and you led me down a rabbit hole. Yeah, like I said, Liz, it was a 23rd. It was a 23rd for me. Thank you very much. Thank you. And ask me what I've done for my birthday. I've done absolutely sod all. Never got one single card, and never got taken out, and never got done anything. So, all right, all right. This isn't a competition, Liz. This isn't a competition. See, that's why we get on so well too, because we're both water signs, and water signs get on well. Hey, oh, that's good to hear. Good people are always born on the 23rd of February. People who lead me down rabbit holes are born like in the Aquarius months. No, he was going down a dark, dark rabbit hole. I sensed that. Anyway, guys, it has been brilliant having you here. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure, but my eyes are getting tired. And I need to sleep. I may be on other channels having a look through. So if you see me there, say hello. And good night, Liz. Good night, OG. LA Spike. Good night. Thank you, Kane Corsa. Thank you, Just Sue. Thank you, M Corner. You're all good people. We all love you too. There you go. God save King Rudy. As much as I like Rudy, I don't think I'd like him to be king. M Corner. I really don't think I'd like to be king. That'd be not. I'd have to immigrate to another country, maybe France, and that is saying something. But good night, you all. Take care and have a blessed day. All right. Take care. Good night.